Khubor ka Batisi TV. Lawan Rashapi da ka Orange Nissan Loom So Po near Fabricate Shillong, Ringkat bat ka Victorium, ka Dukan ki Tiar Kilan Met, ka Babhatam Hakador ka Babit, Hannong Thumai Old Beat House Shillong.
So we basically focus on first starting with this human development, which is health. We all know, in fact, there's a full section on COVID, but some of the very important achievements for this year in particular, immunization. On immunization, today Meghalaya is the second best state in the country. I think this is a matter of great pride for the whole state, and it's great that we are investing in the future of our children and all. A second achievement.
Back at where we were before.
Yeah.
So we were at number 25 or something.
Yeah. So the other one is telemedicine. For example, this is the first time telemedicine, I think in Janjal in West Garovils, I think telemedicine was done. A dental surgery was performed with a doctor supervising from the US. So this is again something to be proud of. Then, of course, the flagship health program is called Mother, where we are trying to register pregnant women and monitor them. So a very, very heartening news is even during COVID times when the hospitals were busy with COVID-related work, the institutional deliveries increased between January 2020 to January 2021 in 9 districts. So this is again something remarkable. In education, we have listed a whole range of things that have been done, but more importantly, I think again, to cope with the COVID times, education through e-learning, technology platforms, a number of these have been started. So these are all listed, the details are there. A portal and a system for registration of teachers, which is called TIMS, Teacher Information Management System, has been put in place. That is also something which is a positive step. Then the next one is NREGA, MGNREGS. This is, I think, this doesn't get really the kind of appreciation that it should get. Today, we are one of the best states in the country in the implementation of NREGA. This year, we are going to touch an expenditure of 1,600 crores. This is almost the same expenditure as Assam, a state which is probably 10 to 12 times bigger than us in population does. And what this means in real terms is that we are transferring almost 17,000 rupees per person, per household, per household for every job card holder into their accounts as wages. So this is, I think, and especially during COVID times, this has been a huge boon to the people that they are getting money in their accounts for the NREGA works which have been done. Then, of course, self-help groups. Again, the government has given a huge push to self-help groups. The numbers are there to see in terms of what has been achieved in the last 3 years. Social welfare is, again, we have about 6,000 Anganwadi centers in the whole state. These centers are all being managed well, and children in the age group of 0 to 6 are getting various services there. A new thing that has happened is this one-stop shop centers. I think they have come up in different places and they have started becoming functional. In sports and youth, the youth policy has been put in the public domain. That is something that we are highlighting, and it will be enacted soon. In sports, again, a lot of sporting activities have come to a halt during COVID time, but we have been able to encourage the sportsmen. We have started this Chief Minister Sportsperson of the Month, and we have supported various people. Then we move into the primary sector, which is obviously agriculture and allied sectors. Here the big focus, and I think one of the big important programs is this Chief Minister's Mobilization Support for Producers, which was launched in Tura last week. Under this program, an amount of rupees 5,000 is being given to every producer in the state. That is the plan. So we have started with about 90 producer groups who have all been provided. Each producer group, if there are 10 farmers, so the group gets 50,000 to invest in the value chain related activities. So when we say producers, this could be agriculture, horticulture, livestock, sericulture, handicrafts, all the producers of the state. So this is a comprehensive program, and this will be implemented in a much bigger way. Then a number of other interventions in agriculture. Today our PM Kisan number of beneficiaries in the state stands at 1.8 lakhs, which is much higher than 70,000, which was 2 years ago. So we are doing progress there, and a number of people got this 6,000 rupees that is eligible under the PM Kisan program. Then there are other programs in horticulture. We have the lay-by markets which are being set up. For the Lakadong turmeric, a lot of marketing activities are happening. Then in animal husbandry and veterinary, again, I think the biggest success story both in milk and most importantly piggery. In piggery, I think already about 17 crores has been sanctioned, and 95 cooperative societies across the state have started piggery activities and through the support of the mission. Fisheries, again, during COVID time, a number of people have really been able to market their fish and make a lot of money, and those details are also provided. Textiles is again another sector where focus has been given. I think in India we are trying to popularize it in a much more modern way. Then if we look at infrastructure, I think this is the biggest push, at least despite the COVID times. If we see the number of roads that are being constructed, so we've listed the roads. The top 9 roads, the cost of these is about 385 crores, covering 180 kilometers. And then another 350 crores worth of roads are in the tendering stage. So together about 730 crores of roads and bridges are being tendered just under the integrated transport project, which is funded by the World Bank. Then we also, thanks to NHIDCL, have two big roads of Tura Dalu and Dauki Shillong, which will be, Dauki Shillong is about to start, Tura Dalu is already at a very, very advanced stage. Then we have the roads funded under the state scheme. About 7 major roads costing 580 crores have already been tendered and work has begun. Then PMGSY, this is rural connectivity. In fact, Meghalaya is getting some of the highest support from the Government of India under PMGSY. A large number of roads are being constructed. About 2,000 crores worth of roads are currently being constructed. Water supply, again, Jal Jeevan Mission has been a big thing. We are making all-out efforts to connect every rural household in the state with tapped water supply. Then other big water supply schemes, like whether it is the Sora water supply scheme, Nongstoin, Greater Shillong, Greater Bagmara, Tura, Tura is completed, the rest are ongoing. Here we have put a picture of the first flight, the big flight which landed from Delhi to Shillong service. It is ongoing. We have also highlighted some of the other infrastructure projects, whether it is the opening of the DIPR building or the opening of the Polo Market, the ITI in Tura, and a range of other projects. This is the snapshot of the first flight landing. In entrepreneurship, again, you're all aware, under the Prime program, we have been trying to get benefits to the entrepreneurs, give them zero interest loans, give them grant support. So in the recent program held in Shillong, about 23 entrepreneurs were connected with the Northeast Small Finance Bank, about 22 entrepreneurs were connected with the Mudra loans, 22 craft entrepreneurs were given a grant of about 5 lakhs to set up studios. So all these are highlighted here. In tourism, obviously the COVID time has not been good for the tourism sector, but in this time, the department used the time to do master planning of the various sites. We put a photo of, we have many big documents which explain the various master plans. But this master planning of various sites has been done. We have opened the facilitation center at Tumling. We have also started training. We have done few batches at IHM of the rural stakeholders. Then, of course, in youth and entrepreneurship, the other important external aided project which we have is the ADB funded project, under which about 16,000 youth have been trained. Then again, environment is a big focus area in that the forest department has done many initiatives. There are 2 external aided projects, one is called the community-led landscape management project, where in 400 villages we are doing extensive work to improve the landscapes. Then in 1350 villages in the LAMP project, a lot of natural resource management work is being done. Then of course governance is kind of the underlying theme for all these efforts and initiatives. The CM's dashboard is operational, everybody is using this. We will very soon come up with a public facing dashboard for this also, so that the public also can see this entire information. And very happy to also put out that ease of doing business for the first time. Meghalaya is unfortunately at the very end of the tally. So now we are making some progress. We finished the first set of reforms. Hopefully in a year we would move up in the rankings. In terms of sustainable development goals, we have started the process of localizing these goals, and we have started ranking our own districts and creating competition among the districts to improve their ranking in SDGs. Yeah, in our rankings currently,
50 lakhs also.
yeah, so 50 lakhs is being given to each DC so that they can, as an untied grant, so that they can invest and take initiatives to kind of move forward on the SDGs. We have also highlighted the 15th Finance Commission grants for 21-22, which are very favorable to the state. In fact, 2021 also the grant, the recommendation was good, but because of the economy and the COVID, the union government slashed the allocations. But 21-22, our allocations as provided in the budget are quite promising. Then of course we have highlighted the 69th plenary which happened, and the Honorable Home Minister was here. Yeah, the Right to Public Service Delivery Act 2021 has also been passed. This is being implemented. So where timelines have been set for the delivery of each service, and this will bring in greater transparency and ease of providing services to citizens. Then, as I said, COVID, we kind of put up all the information that these obviously have been shared with the press and all agencies a number of times, but just to kind of summarize, we summarized it in 2-3 pages, how the kind of benefits that were given to almost 6 lakh citizens, whether it is through the Stranded Citizens Grant or the Unorganized Workers Program or through the PM Jan Dhan Yojana. So a range of benefits, and also the involvement of the community quarantine centers, all that has been highlighted. We also did very interesting and unique programs like the Meghalaya Praise during this COVID times. Then to conclude, we highlighted some of the really iconic infrastructure projects that are being taken up. And some of these projects are really, they are going to change the face of the cities and places where they come. These are massive projects, whether it is, the first one we have highlighted is the PS Anna Integrated Sports Complex in Tura. Work has already started on this. It is about a 125 crore project, and we expect to positively finish it by September 2022. So a range of infrastructure, both indoor and outdoor, and a world-class football stadium are under construction. These are the designs in JN. We are doing both the outdoor and the indoor. So the existing outdoor stadium will be fully revamped to increase the seating capacity and to become a world-class stadium. And in the Dalang ground, we are making a world-class indoor stadium. So both these are very close to getting tendered. So we expect these also to be finished by end of 22. Then in Tura, because Tura lacks the infrastructure for youth to come together, we are building a big incubation cum youth center. So that also, the designs are already finalized and it's close to getting tendered. This is the photographs of the resort that we are building at Nokrek in a place called Sakaladuma. This is already tendered, and we expect again work to finish next year. This is the Tribal Research Institute at Babadam in West Garo Hills, which is again being constructed with the Tribal Affairs support. Of course, and this familiar building is the assembly, which we expect to finish early next year. And these are some of the renditions of the Shillong Padang. We finalized the log houses that we intend to put up at Shillong Padang under the tourism. So this also would be tendered soon and finished.
This particular year is going to be very, very crucial because all the projects that we've shown out here are already up and running. Whether it is social sector schemes, whether it's farmer schemes, whether it's entrepreneurship youth schemes, whether it's infrastructural programs, whether are big iconic projects, all are have started. The work has started. So therefore now this year will be important for us to scale up the entire work progress that has taken place in all the areas. The momentum has to be now built up, and the entire inertia has to be created on that. So therefore this is going to be a very exciting year for us. And as I said, we will see most of the iconic structures that you are seeing out here complete in this next financial year. And if not complete, you will see 90% of it coming up. A lot of projects like the beautification of Jowai, Shillong and Tura have not been mentioned out here because that's something that is going to start now. For example, the work order for the Tura beautification has been done. Next month, we will be giving the Jowai beautification work order out. In Shillong, we have 3-4 very big iconic projects that we have in mind. So there are so many things that I cannot share right now because I have to keep something for the budget speech also. But these are the areas, so we just thought that we should share some of the highlights of the kind of work that's been going on. And just to also mention out here that of course in some corners, in some areas, 1 or 2 people have come out with their opinions regarding the government's thing without really looking at what the government has done. And these personal opinions have been expressed in different platforms. So therefore it was appropriate for the government also to show the kind of work that is going on. And as you can see from the presentation, a lot of work is going on. When I give the presentation on the budget, you will also see that I'll be explaining about the expenditure that has been incurred in the last financial year, or rather I should say this financial year, which is something that will also reflect the kind of work that's going on in the state. The kind of the devolution and the funds that we're getting from the Finance Commission's recommendation also are very encouraging. And if the overall economic condition of the country remains stable and grows the way it's growing now, we expect that those numbers will remain the same, if not go up. So if that is the case, then also we will see a lot of positive work coming out in terms of overall development in the state. In fact, there is a lot of accountability, and that's why you're finding that Lokayukta is coming in, that's why you're finding that there are court cases going on. We must understand that this is a massive program, and there are many VECs that are involved. So yes, there may be issues at about 5, 10% to 15% of the VECs must be having this problem, but that is not the general trend throughout the state. In general, you are seeing that a lot of work, as I was mentioning, in the last 3 years, 4 years, we have jumped up today from a 700 crore budget to a 1600 crore budget. Government of India doesn't do it if the work progress is not going the right way. Government of India will not release the funds if there is some kind of wrongdoings that are going on there. So obviously, depending on the work that Government of India is seeing, they are satisfied. And today, Meghalaya is at the top 3 level. The Assam MGNREGS budget is at 2,000 crores. So Assam is about 10 times bigger than us, and we are 1,600 crores. So we are one of the biggest performers for MGNREGS in the last 3 years, and this work has happened because of the hard work of the officials, the BDOs and the VECs. And yes, you're right, there could be some groups and some VECs there could be problems in them, but that is not the general trend. And whenever we find that there are some issues like that, immediate steps are taken, and social auditing is taking place at all levels. So work is happening, but absolutely right, everything is not 100% perfect. There will be 5-10% problems, but whenever it comes up, we take steps to rectify it. When it comes to an issue of maternal mortality or infant mortality, there are many factors involved in this. It's not just the point of time when the delivery takes place. That, of course, is a very important moment, but it starts off very early. It starts off from the point the mother conceives. The health of the mother, how many times the mother has conceived. The fact that sometimes we have mothers who are just 25 years old and they're having their 6th baby. You see, the gap between the birth of the child is an issue. So there are so many factors that go in, and therefore one cannot expect that this thing will be transformed in one go. The idea of the Mother app and the Mother program is to get all these aspects on board. Sometimes it just happens that because the ambulance drivers are not there to pick up the mother from the house and take them to the hospital or the institute, there itself we face problems. So just being able to connect these two dots of the driver with the family could resolve a lot of the issues. A lot of times we also see that there are problems where like in institutes, in the sub-centers or other places, there is not enough manpower, or all these other issues are there. So there are all these kind of different levels of problems that are there, and therefore this Mother program is meant to actually connect the dots and make sure that we are able to resolve this issue. So the process has started. A lot of work is going on. Today, for example, at any given time, we can actually tell you who are the highest risk mothers. Because the high-risk mothers are the ones who have more chance of mortality while giving birth. So it's more important to give attention to them. Earlier, this data was not available. We just had to go by chance, basically. So today, with technology, we are able to identify those. The doctors, the other ASHAs and all the other health workers have been told to identify those high-risk mothers and give special attention to them. So yes, things cannot change overnight, but at all levels, steps are being taken to work towards reducing the MMR and the IMR. And as I mentioned, even on 21st of Jan 2021, that this is going to be one of the most important aspects for us, and we're going to lay a lot of stress on this.